Hello, my dear students. Today we will begin an exciting journey into the world of carbohydrates. Have you ever wondered where your body gets the quick burst of energy to play, run, or even think? The answer lies in carbohydrates, the most important source of fuel for our life. They are not just sugars, they also build structures, store energy, and take part in many vital processes inside our body. In this class, we'll learn what carbohydrates are, what is their biochemical character, what are they, how they are classified, and why they are so essential for living organisms. So let's explore the amazing world of these energy giving biochemical molecules, the carbohydrates. Carbohydrates is basically the most abundant biomolecules on earth. Carbohydrates are the most widespread biomolecules found in nature, playing vital role in energy storage, structure and biological recognition. The name carbohydrate was basically originally coined for compounds that were considered hydrates of carbon with the general formula CnH2O whole N. For example, glucose is C6H12O6 and galactose fit this formula. However, not all carbohydrates follow this rule. Example, fucose C6H10O5 does not follow the rule of CnH2O whole N. And interestingly, some compounds like formaldehyde, HCHO and acetic acid CH3COOH fit the formula, but they are not carbohydrates. In biochemical terms, carbohydrates are basically polyhydroxyaldehyde or ketones or substances that yield such compounds upon hydrolysis. They are essentially aldehydes and ketone derivatives of straight chain polyhydroxy alcohols containing at least 3 carbons. So carbohydrates are uh, polyhydroxy aldehyde or ketone containing at least 3 carbon atoms. Major classes of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are broadly divided into three main classes: monosaccharides, disaccharides, and polysaccharides. The word saccharide comes from the Greek word saccharon, meaning sugar. So, what is monosaccharides or the simplest sugar? What is the monosaccharide? The basic building blocks of all carbohydrate is the monosaccharide. They cannot be hydrolyzed into further smaller sugar units. The most abundant example in nature is T-glucose or dextrose, which is a 6 carbon sugar. Monosaccharides with then 4 carbons generally from cyclic structures in the solution. Their classification based on carbonyl group. Monosaccharides can be either aldose if it contains an aldehyde group, or it can be ketose if it contains a ketone group. So based on number of carbon atoms, if 3 carbons are there, they are called as trioses. If 4 carbons are there in monosaccharides, they are called as tetroses. 5 carbon is there, then it is called pentoses. 6 carbon is there, so it is called as hexoses, and 7 carbon if it there, so the monosaccharide is called as heptoses. So monosaccharide is the building block of all carbohydrate and they contain one single sugar unit, but on the basis of the carbon atom they can be classified into triose, tetrose, pentose, hexose, heptose, and on the basis of carbonyl group, monosaccharides can be aldose or ketose. Oligosaccharides, they are short chain of sugars composed of, oligo means 2 to 10 units, so composed of 2 to 10 monosaccharide units linked by glycosidic bond. And they are classified as disaccharide, trisaccharide or tetrasaccharide on the basis of the number of the saccharide unit or sugar unit on them. Disaccharides like sucrose, lactose, maltose are the most abundant type of oligosaccharides. In cells, larger oligosaccharides such as 3 or more sugar units rarely exist freely. Instead, they are often bounded to lipid or protein, forming glycoconjugates which play essential role in cell signaling and cell recognition. So oligosaccharide is a carbohydrate that has a relatively small number of monosaccharides. Raffinose is an oligosaccharide made up of 3 saccharide units, galactose, glucose and fructose. Polysaccharides. Polysaccharides are also known as glycan or the sugar polymer, large carbohydrate polymers containing more than 20 monosaccharide units. Sometimes it can be up to 1000 monosaccharide units. It is called as polysaccharides. They are not sweet in taste. They are often referred to as non-sugar. It can be linear such as cellulose, and it can be branched such as glycogen. Interesting contrast, both glycogen and cellulose are made up of repeating D-glucose unit, but their glycosidic linkage differ, giving them completely different structures and biological functions. Types of polysaccharides: homoglycan and heteroglycan. A homoglycan is composed of same type of sugar unit, example glycogen, starch and cellulose. Or heteroglycans include, it is composed of basically different sugar residues. Examples include heparin, murin and hyaluronic acid. Reducing and non-reducing sugar. Reducing sugar are the sugar that can reduce the Fe3 plus or ferric or cupric or Cu2 plus ions. They are basically reducing sugar. They possess a free aldehyde group bond CHO, or can form one in solution through isomerization. These functional group act as reducing agent. Examples: all monosaccharides like glucose, fructose, galactose, etc. are reducing sugar. Both most disaccharides like maltose, lactose are also reducing sugar. Special note: all reducing sugar show mutar-rotation in interconversion, and interconversion between alpha and beta ionomer in aqueous solution. Non-reducing sugar, it is basically sugars that cannot reduce and ferric or cupric ions because they look like a natural look like a free anomeric carbon. So what is the reason of non-reducing sugar? In these sugars, the anomeric carbon of both monosaccharide unites are involved in glycosidic bond, so no more reducing sugar is available. Examples include sucrose and trehalose. This is the differences between reducing and non-reducing sugar. Now we'll go for the key concept, the reducing end. In an oligosaccharide or polysaccharide chain, the end that has a free anomeric carbon not locked in a glycosidic bond is called the reducing end. This end determines whether the sugar can act as a reducing sugar. All monosaccharides are reducing sugar. Among the disaccharide, most of them are reducing except sucrose and trehalose. Reducing ability actually depends on the presence or absence of a free anomeric carbon. So what are the biological importance of carbohydrates? Carbohydrates, whether monosaccharide, disaccharide or polysaccharides, are not just energy giving foods. They perform structural, metabolic, waste, metabolic and protection and signaling that are essential for life. Metabolic fuel primary function: supply energy. Glucose is the chief fuel for mammalian tissue. Galactose and fructose also contribute to energy production. Storage substances: plants store carbohydrates as starch, animals store carbohydrate as glycogen, especially in our liver and muscle. Structural elements: peptidoglycan or cellulose, which are found in the cell wall of bacteria and plant. Chitin is found in the cell wall of fungi or exoskeleton of some insects. And pentose sugars like ribose or deoxyribose, they are found in the backbone of RNA and DNA. And cellulose, cell wall of plants. Cellular communication: carbohydrates combine with proteins or glycoprotein and lipid or glycolipids. Glycolipids form glycocalyx outside the cell. Example on RBC membrane determine blood groups. Glycoprotein function as hormones or antibodies, clotting factors. And zona pellucida proteins important in fertilization. Leukocyte homing কি বলছে? Glycosylated cellulation molecular camps guide white blood cells or leukocytes to their target locations during immune response. Leukocyte, it is called as leukocyte trafficking and homing. Gastrointestinal functions: the carbohydrate can act as dietary fiber or cellulose act as roughage, help prevent conspiration by retaining water in the intestine. Anticoagulant: heparin or carbohydrate prevents blood clotting. It is widely used as an anticoagulant agent. Growth and tissue repair: vitamin C is a very good food source, and its derivative is essential for glycogen synthesis and supporting tissue growth, wound repair and healing. Achha, protective role: mucin, a mucopolysaccharide, protects the oral cavity and other surfaces by acting as non-immune deficiency barrier. Wound healing কি বলছে? Wound healing বলছে hyaluronic acid plays a crucial role in tissue repair. Injected into the eye during pregnancy, during surgery to replace natural fluids. It is also used as a leaf filter in cosmetic energy. applied to the skin for healing wounds, burns, ulcers, and as a moisturizer. So, dear students, today we discovered how carbohydrates are the true powerhouses of life, from giving us instant energy to storing fuel for the future to building important structure in plants and animals. Carbohydrate plays many vital roles. They are not just sugar but versatile molecules that support life at every step. Truly, carbohydrates form the foundation of energy and structure in the living world. Thank you for watching. Keep smiling, stay energetic, and I will keep you in the next video.